Morning students, today we shall study our first chapter of civics, that is power sharing. We start right away. Name the countries with which Belgium shares its boundary. Belgium is a country in Europe and it shares its boundaries with France, Netherlands, Germany and Luxembourg. It is one of the most important and landlocked country of Europe and one of the most important in terms of European Union. Next is, what does the word ethnic signifies? The word ethnic signifies social division on the basis of shared culture. Where does the majority of population of Belgium live? Majority of population in Belgium lives in Flemish region. In Flemish region, that is 59% of people lives in Flemish region of Belgium. Which language is spoken by majority of population in Brussels, the capital of Belgium? In the capital of Belgium, the majority of people speaks French language. That is 80% of people in Brussels, Belgium speaks French language. In Sri Lanka, policies of governments sought to ensure dominance of which language speaking people? In Sri Lanka, the government passed a majoritarian act in 1956 and this resulted in dominance of Sinhala speaking people in Next Sri question Lanka. Is, what does term majoritarianism signifies? Majoritarianism signifies the rule by the majority. That is act of the government by which it was ensured that majority community would be given preference. These types of majoritarian act causes strife and rift among the countries. Next one is, what is the religion of Sri Lanka? The official religion of Sri Lanka is Buddhism. Which major social group in Sri Lanka constitutes the largest share in population? In Sri Lanka, the Sinhalese people shares the largest share of population. Around 74% of people in Sri Lanka are of Sinhala origin, or they speak Sinhalese language. So they have the largest group in Sri Lanka. How many times did Belgium amend its constitution regarding power sharing? Belgium amended its constitution 4 times from 1970 till 1993. Between this time span of 23 years, Belgium brought about massive changes in the constitutions in order to ensure power sharing between Dutch speaking and the French speaking people there. Name the third level of governments in Belgium. The third level of government was introduced in Belgium and that was known as the community government. Next question is, which city was chosen as headquarters of European Union? The city of Brussels, the capital city of Belgium, was chosen as the headquarter of European Union. Because of this, their success in the power sharing, they resolved the issues of power sharing so well that European Union chose Brussels, the capital of Belgium, as the headquarter of the European Union. What does horizontal power sharing signifies? Horizontal power sharing signifies the division of power among different organs of the government like legislature, executive and judiciary. This also ensures the separation of power among different organs of the government. Each organ performs different sets of work. Legislature performs the making of law, executive performs the implementation of law, and judiciary ensures to see whether the law is being justified properly and also to explain law. Next one is, give meaning of coalition government. When no political party is in position to muster majority in the House of Parliament, then different parties comes together and forms the coalition government. So in a coalition government, many political parties come at one platform and forms the government. So this types of government is known as coalition government. In which form of power sharing, power is shared at different levels of government? In vertical power sharing, the power is shared at different level. In vertical power, at the apex level is always the central government. At state level, there are the state governments, and local level, there are the local governments. So power is shared at different levels of governments in order to ensure deepening of democracy. So this is known as the vertical power sharing. Next one is, what is separation of power? Separation of power is an idea by which the power is separated. One organ of the government performs altogether different set of tasks, and there is no interference in them. There is proper check and balance among different organs of the government, and these organs are the legislature, executive and judiciary, and they perform their task differently. Next question is, why is ethnic composition of Belgium very complex? As we see that the ethnic composition of Belgium is quite varied. In Flemish region, 59% of people speaks Dutch language. They are the countrysides, whereas in Wallonia region, 40% that constitutes 40% of Belgian population, and majority of people speaks French language, and 1% of people speaks German language in Belgium. So this ethnic composition is quite complex, because in the city of Brussels, that is the capital city of Belgium, 80% people speaks French language, and these 80% pupils have their economic preferences, and they have the upper hand in power as well as in economic gains of the country. Our next question is, what led to tension between Dutch speaking and French speaking communities in Belgium during 1950 and 1960? The issue of majoritarianism and financial preference led to differentiations and tussles between Dutch speaking and French speaking communities between 1950 and 1960. In the capital city of Belgium, that is in Brussels, 80% people used to speak French language, and these people were very rich and very powerful, and they draw a huge benefit in terms of economic gains and educational benefits. So this was resented by Dutch speaking people in Belgium, and this resentment among both the communities was responsible for tension between these two communities in Belgium. Yes, our next question is, give an account of ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. The ethnic composition of Sri Lanka is 74% of population of Sri Lanka is of Sinhala community. That is 74% of Sri Lankan population. Apart from this, 13% people are Tamil, and in this both the native Tamil as well as Indian Tamil. Apart from this, 7% are Christian community, and rest 1% is Muslim community in Sri Lanka. So this is the major ethnic composition of Sri Lanka, which definitely has a majority of Sinhala speaking people, and apart from this, most of the people follows Buddhism religion in Sri Lanka. Next question is, describe any three majoritarian measures taken by Sri Lankan government to establish Sinhala supremacy. So problem cropped up in 1956 when the government of Sri Lanka passed its majoritarian act, thereby making Sinhala community supreme and Sinhala language as the supreme language there. So those people who used to speak Sinhala language, they were given preference in government jobs and educational opportunities, whereas the Tamil communities remained backward and they could not be able to get government jobs and educational benefits, etc. So this was the main reason of tussles and resentment among both the communities, and as a result of this, apart from this, Buddhism was declared as the official religion of Sri Lanka. So these were some of the majoritarian measures adopted by Sri Lankan government, which resulted in strife and disturbed relationship between different communities in Sri Lanka, and that ultimately led to civil war in Sri Lanka. Our next question is, why did civil war broke out in Sri Lanka? List the result of this war. Sri Lanka, the erstwhile one of the most economic prospering developing country in Asia, South Asia, became a backward country due to civil war. Different communities started fighting for their benefits and rights in Sri Lanka. The Majoritarian Act in 1956 played a very crucial role in this civil war, because it gave upper hand to the Sinhala community, and the Buddhist people and other communities started feeling away from the mainstreams and marginalized. So they started to raise their political demands, but their demands were subdued and they were not fulfilled. As a result, Sri Lanka suffered greatly in terms of economic gains and in different other sections also. So we see that a civil war broke out in Sri Lanka, in which Tamils started demanding a separate Tamil Elam for the Tamil people. So all these factors are responsible for disturbed relation and broke out of civil war in Sri Lanka. Our next question is, how have Belgium and Sri Lanka dealt with questions of power sharing differently? So here we see that two examples are in front of us regarding power sharing. One example is of Belgium, another is of Sri Lanka. In Belgium, the difference of culture and diversities, cultural and linguistic diversities, was recognized by the leaders of Belgium. The Constitution of Belgium was amended 4 times from 1970 to 1993 in order to accommodate all the diversified social groups. Arrangement of power sharing was done amicably in Belgium, in the capital city, where the French people had the upper hand or had the majority of population of French speaking people in Belgium. So equal share was given to both Dutch and French in central government, and power of the central government was also shared with state governments. Apart from this, one community government was also introduced in Belgium, in which the people belonging to that particular community could give votes and form that community government. And this government was meant to resolve linguistic and cultural issues of the people. So in a nutshell, Belgium was very successful in accommodating all the social groups, and the power was shared quite amicably among different groups. As a result, the tussles, the strained relationship between different communities were resolved, and Belgium became on the path of progress. The opposite case is of Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, we see that a majoritarian act was passed in which Sinhalas were given the upper hand. Sinhala was made the official language, disregarding Tamil. Sinhalas were given preferences in the government jobs, in the universities positions, and other economic benefits. Buddhism was declared the official religion of Sri Lanka, and Sinhalas people, or rather the other communities pupils, were not given any preferences there in terms of political rights. Tamil people raised their demands for equal political rights, but they were not given any audience. As a result, a civil war broke out in Sri Lanka, and in which millions of pupils were killed, several hundreds left the countries, and the country which was on the right path of progress became one of the backward country of Asia. So here we see that power sharing is definitely a very important feature in the political system. Next question is, what do you mean by power sharing? Power sharing means that the amicable resolves of disputes among different communities. It means that the equal representation is given to different countries in matters of decision making. All the section of the society, all the communities of the society, all the groups of the society must feel that they have a say in the government, they have power in the decision making. So this is a very necessary process because in the absence of power sharing, there will be a strained relationship among different communities, and country cannot make progress until all the views, diversified views, are not given accommodation. So this is the specialty of democracy, to give accommodation to all the social groups of the country. Now next question is, differentiate between horizontal and vertical power sharing in modern democracy. That is very important because in order to ensure the separation of power and proper check and balance among different organs of the government, horizontal power sharing is very important. In horizontal power sharing, the power is shared between different organs of the government, and each government is set to perform a different function. It is in legislature, executive and judiciary. Whereas in vertical power sharing, the power is shared vertically from apex. It is the central government, state government and the local government. The purpose of horizontal of power is to ensure proper check and balance, that none of the government should act as absolute, none of the organ of the government performs high-handedly. So everything is under proper control according to this horizontal power sharing. And in vertical power sharing, the idea is to deepening of democracy, the decentralization of power. This is the idea of vertical power sharing. So these are some of the major difference between horizontal and vertical power sharing. Our next question is, with the help of example, show how power can be shared between social and linguistic groups. There are countries where the economically weak, socially weak section and women are given protection in terms of their representation in the decision making process. In India, we see that representation is given to the weaker section of society in the form of reservations in the legislative assemblies. So this is a way by which power can be shared between different social groups. In India, the local government, that is the Panchayati Raj Act, has given powers to the local bodies, and the state governments has to ensure that the power has to reach down to the grassroots level, so that the last member of the society should feel that he is also a part of the decision making, he is also a part of the power sharing. So in Belgium, we see that the community government was installed in order to ensure that the people of a particular community must resolve their linguistic, cultural and social issues on the basis of their own government. So these are some of the examples by which we can say that it is very good to share power between different social and linguistic groups. Our next question is, what does sharing of power among political parties, pressure groups and movements ensure? The sharing of power among different political parties ensures that there is proper political competitions among different political parties. Elections are a contest among different political parties in order to gain power. So more this contest, more the quality of decision making. So it is very necessary that all the political parties should contest election, and there should be a choice of the people. The people must choose. The choice must be, ultimate choice must be of people to whom they want to give power. And apart from this, in the form of coalition, when no political party is in a position to form the government, then two or more than two political parties comes to form a government, and they also makes alliance prior to election, when they join hands together and contest election simultaneously, and then comes to power. Apart from this, there are different pressure groups which try to get power through different techniques like dharna, gherao, strike, and a host of other techniques. By these techniques, by their associations, they try to get power or try to influence the decision making in their favor. Besides this, they also perform different types of tasks, like a planning commission, for example. People try to get membership of different committees in planning commissions in order to advocate policies in their favor.